Welcome to CEO Insights. In this episode, I want to talk about what I think is a brand new trend where very large companies are now forming energy companies of their own. We've seen this obviously with Walmart and Google, but we're seeing even more. So why is this? First thing we're seeing is a move, of course, to physical renewables by the corporates. That's rooftop, of course, that's obvious. But the offsite utility scale, where instead of a PPA or in addition to a PPA, they actually are taking ownership by becoming an investor. They're doing that under their own energy company, A, because that's an investment vehicle and tax credits, et cetera, and B, to shield the rest of the company from the liability of owning energy assets. Another reason is with high wholesale prices for the last 18 months or more, the perception from some of these corporates is their retailer is gouging them. And we've seen this before. High prices, all the consumers think the energy companies are making a fortune. Of course, some are, but most retailers are not. So they think they could do better on their own. That's another driver. A third driver is ESG. Meeting the ESG compliance, carbon neutrality, maybe hydrogen, et cetera, all those different things. They figure they can do this on their own as opposed to outsourcing or paying margins to other companies. And the other reason that I'm finding is they just can't find a retailer that meets all their needs. There's been a move in the last several years by big companies especially, to consolidate the number of vendors they work with. So rather than a vendor in every utility, they'd like to find one or do it themselves and outsource components so they can control it themselves. So how to capitalize or make an opportunity out of this by a retailer or maybe a utility? First of all, don't look at it as a threat and competition, look at it as a partnering opportunity. The ones that I'm familiar with, and it's not very many, I realize, don't have the infrastructure to do the scheduling or the balancing, or maybe they don't really want to play in the spot or the futures market and they would outsource that, or maybe it's the back office. So in some ways for a retailer, this is actually an opportunity to charge the margin in the service fees instead of trying to collect the margin in the commodity markup. So in some ways, it's actually less risky than commodity markets. Let the customer take commodity market risk. So that's it for this month, just something we're starting to see. Our phone's beginning to ring with some of these big companies that are exploring the opportunity or the option to form their own energy companies. Thanks for watching.